So this is a really basic sort of like white bread. It's about the simplest.
Just a bit of parallel. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just the most basic sort of bread. I would say if you're going to make this and put it in a bread tin to use as a sandwich loaf, I would put a tablespoon of olive oil or something in with it to make it softer. But this is just like a very fast bread that's just very quick to cook, only needs to rise once rather than twice.
That's strong flour?
Yes, so I've got 500 grams of strong flour.
What is strong flour?
It's higher in, it's got higher protein content. I would say
So, should say bread or?
I should say either bread flour or strong flour. So the protein in that, like the glutens, that you've heard of, being gluten-free, in bread flour would be maybe 12 or 13%, and in regular soft, just all-purpose flour, there would be about 8%. That's just plain. So there's nothing. So self-raising flour would have bicarb and cream of tartar and stuff like that added into it. This is just. I'm going to put the water in and start moving. So I've got easy baked yeast from Asda, which is now back on shelves. Looks like that. So there's all kinds of things. If you don't do very much baking with yeast, there's all these really intimidating things about if you use fast action instant yeast or whatever, put it in warm water and wait for it to froth up and add a spoon of sugar and all the rest of it. This you just throw in. It's very hard to. Very hard to go wrong with it. But this is it's just instant. So put that in, salt it and stir around. And check in the water. And then if you can put this in a food mixer, if you've got on with a dough hook, if you don't fancy the kneading. But if you're just doing a small amount, it's not that much, it's quite relaxed. But first of all you mix it to incorporate all the water, and then you need to kind of knead it a little bit more to start with, not that much, it's not that hard work, but the kneading will help. The gluten, the protein, is what makes it stretchy. So if you imagine it's like sort of very small, the protein plates are kind of like very small elastic bands, stretchy, and that's what traps the carbon dioxide as the bread rises. So if you don't knead it enough to start with, you'll get kind of quite dense, heavy loaf. I think I might put a bit more water in this actually. Yeah, please. So it should start off being, is that one might be warm?
What more did you say?
Yeah,
Right? Sorry.
but the warm water's in the kitchen.
You want more in this house, do you?
Is it? Yeah. I didn't know that was connected to the other thing.
Just over here.
Yeah, it's tempting to think if you use really, really hot water, it will speed things up a lot. But if it's too hot, it will just kill the yeast. So, sort of like, I don't know, sort of body temperature, sort of like 37 degrees-ish. That's what I'm doing. And you want to start off with something that's sort of quite sticky. And as the flour slips it up, it should become smoother. I'm trying to do all this in the bowl, just like make a mess of it. I was thinking of the cleaning up.
Not till you're on to clean it up.
But actually,
Better clear the decks here, there's going to be a lot of slotting going on.
so you can probably see better. and it's just, it looks quite sort of like wet and shiny, and that's kind of pretty much nearly done. So it hasn't really taken long.
I got your bowl, don't worry, I'm not gonna wash it up. I'm gonna stand by.
It's going to need to go back in. But there's all kinds of ways of kneading. Everyone's got their own preferred method, and it really doesn't matter as long as you sort of stretch it. So what you're looking to is be able to kind of pull it a bit and for it to stretch rather than tear. And then it's fine. That's good. The really good, you know, if you've had a really bad day, that's some really good things to There's a really famous baker called Richard Bertinet in Bath. He's a French baker. He's got a famous cookery school. Yeah. And he's very keen on all of this. He's got some really good videos.
Put the flour in, some of the heating in every day. Doesn't matter. It's
It's
just together quicker, but I don't think it's any different.
No, I think with the sort of, I mean, not just with the sort of like lockdown sourdough baking, but before that, there's such a lot of stuff on the internet, you know, that instead of sort of explaining bread making, tries to kind of make it sound very mystical, accurate process. And you do need to measure stuff like that. Bread is a lot more forgiving than cakes, I think. You know, eventually if you do it enough, you know when it looks right and when you poke it and when it feels right and when it's ready for the oven and something like that. But I think that's probably enough really. So we've done this first before everything else to give it time to rise, because there's nothing worse than time running out in the class and your bread dough is stubbornly sat there and then held on in the corner. But hopefully it's warm enough in here.
Well, that's for the warm water, isn't it?
Yeah. And also the time of year will make a difference. So if you make bread in the summer on a really hot, humid day, it will double in size in no time. And if it's on a cold kitchen counter in December, the heating's not on.
In the porch.
Hot bread.
Yeah.
Hot bread.
Just I kind of, you know, you find yourself with a bowl covered in feel like following the sun around the house, or I did it in a greenhouse before, or and the hot press is good. But just keep an eye on it. So there you go. You just want a smooth bowl dough.
Want flour?
No, that'll be fine. I might have a bit of oil in it actually. Just a bit of oil in here, just to get it right into. And you can cover it with a damp tea towel or a big plastic bag or whatever you like, just so that you don't want too much air to get all over the surface of it, because then it can form a skin on top and that will stop it rising so much. But that's pretty much all the mixing done, and then we're going to come up just before the end and shape it and cook it. So what we're going to turn this into, I think you've got a picture, is fougasse, which is, and fougasse comes from the same root as focaccia, from the Latin word for half. So originally it was a bread that would be baked on the half after the fire had died down, because most people wouldn't have had ovens, so it's a quite pleasant thing.
Yeah, and the embers of the
It's
red
very
oil,
easy.
wasn't it? Yeah, and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's all lovely.
Some places I think they have a communal you know,
Yes.
a village or something, with big bowl of bakery and whatever it's at the end of the day.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
all baked or
That's
bread.
it.
That's exactly it.
So luckily it is really, really warm in here.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, and we've done things before in like very cold halls where I've had like you know, insulated picnic box with hot water bottle in the bottom and blankets and towels around it to try and make it rise. But it's lovely. I think they've got them to
Straw box.
There's nothing like a hot press.
Yes. As long as you put something down first, otherwise it doesn't get fully clean and
Doesn't have an egg anymore.
I'm baking this afternoon.
what are you making? The
I was
catchy?
a catchy loaf.
Brilliant. Okay, so usually if you make bread dough, it rises and then you knock it back, and that sort of redistributes all the air bubbles. Because this isn't going to rise a second time, basically just going to shape it and put it straight in the oven, because it only needs to rise a bit. I'm going to try and be very gentle and not knock any of the air out of it. There we are. So,
Also, to please John, I'm making porridge for you. Yeah. I forgot I can fill the boxes and put it in the fridge. You
which porridge do you use? So,
private beds or whatever it is. Yeah.
So if you want
Maybe
to
I've
try
been using
to
this for a long
swallow
time
by
now, and
grating glass,
I put spices into it.
well, now, if you make
When I last got it, I
like a
used
lotus
this
bread,
Yeah.
you'd kind of like knock the air out of it and bits, and then roll it up in a shape. So that you've got sort of structure and you haven't got anything, big air bubbles and,
This goes
you know,
into
when
a
you get bread
sauce.
sometimes sort of croquettes, it's sort of floating to one side and one
Pretty much what
side.
you did the first time, like get them hard over and punch it down and.
More just kind of like pat it down and then sort of shape it, but with this I'm going to try not to not put it out too much. So this is going to make two little rows. I like to put it straight on the baking sheet. So you've got the baking sheet. Lots of flour. Or you could put ground semolina on your baking sheet, that will stop it sticking as well, like you do a pizza. And I'm just going to very, very gently sort of stretch them. So then it's really quite like if you make a pizza. But it will get really quite large. So it's being did on the baking sheet. But, yeah, the shape of these is traditionally supposed to be like an ear of corn or wheat or something. I'm not quite sure which. But what you do is, if you don't have a dough scraper, you could use a credit card, just whatever sort of spatula thing, whatever. These are very, very cheap and very handy. Okay, it's going to make that. I'll line down the middle first and just kind of like stretch it out a bit. And then with the side of it, I'm going to do maybe 3 each side.
Big leaf.
Yeah, it's more like a leaf.
Yes.
And kind of open them out. This just makes it cook fast. And you can, I don't know, you could brush them with pesto before you cook it, that might be quite nice. Or you could mix seeds or pumpkin seeds or, yeah, whatever you like. Fennel seeds might be nice if you're having something with fennel in. But that's your sort of basic shape. Good little. I'm hoping by then I'll put them in the oven. Excuse me, that's the timer or something. But it's probably something that's already out of the oven. I got it. Might be the quiche on the top right. So it's going to stretch it out and just sort of amazing. So, down the middle.
Doesn't take long in the oven, does it?
It really doesn't. And the other thing that you can do so then there is you can sort of half cook them and freeze them, and then take them out and cook them from frozen. They take about 6, 7, 10 minutes depending on how frozen they are. which is just what most supermarkets will do with bread you buy as freshly baked. So, but it saves time if you want to get all the rising and the kneading and everything done ahead. You can be as elaborate as you want in something like Richard Burton always does this thing where he's got like little notches in the side as well, so it looks like maybe more like a big but it depends how many little crispy bits you want to so there's that. They're going to go and make them for about 12 minutes. And it's quite a nice thing to have if you've got, I don't know, just you want some sort of very quick French fries like mop up juices of something, or I mean, it's obviously not that much good for a sandwich, but it looks very impressive. It looks much. I like things that look a lot harder than they really are. So I'm going to squeeze those, and I've also got some that I made last night. Half of it. I'll show you what they look like. So this is what I'm looking at. So if you cook them just enough so that you can sort of lift them off the baking sheet, but they're not kind of fully cooked, at that stage you can either freeze them or bring them out and put them into a hot oven afterwards to sort of finish off. Yeah, just so that you can do that. Oh, look, Kissy Red, I freshly made them. I'm not being inspiring. But, right, I'll put these in first space. Thank you.